a Koenigsegg Regera pulling up. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are driving the Lamborghini Urus. If you haven't seen the review video yet, I've got a link in the description below. I highly recommend it. But today we're gonna be talking about 5 insane features of the Urus. It's really cool to see. We've got one here, and then the original LM002 right there. We're out at Lamborghini Newport Beach today, surrounded by Lambos everywhere. Look at that, we've got another Urus over there as well. Absolutely love the way the original Lamborghini SUV looks. Just look how beastly it is, and the fact that it had a V12. That is awesome. We got Travis, is that the key?
Yeah, this is the other one. This is the 5-seat configuration one.
Awesome. Look at the key here. It is thinner and smaller than your typical Lamborghini key, but I actually quite like it. Really simple. Travis actually just pointed out that you can see the Lamborghini logo a lot clearer on the Urus key than the rest, where it's actually just on the end here, and the rest of the key looks like an Audi. This is completely bespoke. I like it. It's crazy to see the design language shift over the years from how boxy this was with the Countach generation to how smooth the lines of the Urus are. However, it is very, very aggressive, especially in the front end. Just look at how mean that front grille looks. Now, this isn't one of the insane features, but look how thick these double pane windows are. That is actually, that might deserve to be one of the insane features. I have never seen a window that thick in my entire life on a car. Before we jump into the 5 insane features of the Urus, I've just been given permission and actually almost enticed to do a little rev battle between the LM002 and the Urus. So let's grab the keys, warm this thing up, and do a rev battle. Look at how wild the interior on this thing truly is. Unbelievable. Oh yeah, and it's a manual. Listen to the noises it's making during the startup procedure. This thing is freaking awesome. Well, that was absolutely epic. The sound of a Countach V12 in an SUV. It's time for the Urus's turn. Hop on in here. The wild fighter jet style red button up and click the stop start button. Alright guys, smash that thumbs up button for the V12 and the V8 Lamborghini SUVs. Let's take it for a spin. I've just finished reviewing the Urus and can't wait to share 5 insane features about this car with you guys, starting with the brakes. Check this out. So the wheels alone are pretty insane. They come in 21s, which is already big, 22s, and 23s. The tires measure 285s in the front and 325s in the back. So you're thinking, huge wheels, a big SUV. What are the brakes like? Well, the brakes are the most insane thing I have ever seen. Come to the front, they measure 17.3 inches in diameter, and they are 10 piston brakes. That's right, you're used to supercars, even hypercars with 6 pistons. Well, these 10 piston brakes. In the rear, they're 14.6 inches in diameter, and interestingly, they are only 1 piston. But you're not expecting, and I think that's a common theme with this Lamborghini, to have these mind-bending statistics on an SUV, but there you go, 10 piston brakes. Let's get on to the next one. Let's go ahead and pop the hood here to reveal the next insane feature about the Lamborghini Urus, and that is its legendary power to weight ratio. Under the hood of the Urus is a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8, making 641 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. But the incredible part is, other than of course that's a lot of power, is that it only weighs 4,900 pounds. In today's day and age, that's actually pretty good for an SUV. Combined with the power, and it has the best power to weight ratio of any SUV in the world. The next insane feature of the Lamborghini Urus is its number of driving modes and what they actually do. That's right, the Urus has 7 different driving modes. Now on the Huracan or the Aventador, we've got Strada, that's street mode. We've got Sport, where it peps it up a little bit, more throttle response, the steering's a little stiffer. Then we've got Corsa mode with really aggressive shifts, holds the RPMs higher, and it doesn't automatically upshift. But on the Urus, we've got 4 additional modes. That's right. Using this lever called the Anima switch, we can go from Strada. Now this is one of the coolest ways to actually change different modes of any car I've ever been in. In most of the Lamborghinis you're used to, it's a little toggle switch, but this is actually a lever itself. So we go into Sport mode, which completely changes what the actual dash looks like. Strada mode, we've got the date and the time on the side, and we've got this nice blue and red theme. Then we go to Sport mode, and you can feel the front of the car actually starts to lower that air suspension. Then we've got a G meter and a yellow and red theme. Then on to Corsa mode, where the tachometer is now horizontally positioned in a more aggressive fashion. Looks really, really cool. Now we've got a power and torque meter on the left and G meter on the right. And then we get into the 3 off-road modes. That is Sabia for sand, Terra for off-road, and Neve for snow. Now these 3 different modes change the ride height on the air suspension. In the off-road modes, we can now see that I'm on a 5-degree incline sideways, and I'm pretty much level from front to back. Go to Terra mode and the ground changes slightly to a kind of desert feel, and then go to Neve, and it looks like snow. Pretty awesome. When you put the car into Sport or Corsa mode, the suspension actually lowers by 0.6 inches. Now, when you put the car into any of the off-road modes, it raises by 1.6 inches. Pretty cool. And it also decouples the active anti-roll bars for more wheel articulation on the off-road. That brings us to the 7th mode called Ego mode. How Lamborghini is that? It actually means individual, so you can customize it to your liking. So we pull this secondary lever to put it into Ego, and we've got 3 different controls, one for the powertrain, one for the handling, and one for the suspension. So we've got 3 different options for each one. For the powertrain, we've got smooth, if you want it to be nice and smooth. We've got medium, and then sportive. Then for the steering, we've got the same, medium, smooth, and sportive. And then for the suspension, we have that as well. 7 driving modes. The next insane feature has to do with the 3 Tft displays. Not only are they extremely clear, the graphics are beautiful, the coloration is top notch, but the camera system is incredible on this thing, and it is so customizable. So I've showed you through the driving modes. Now over here, when you put it into reverse, this panel looks so cool. It's almost like the throttle on an airplane, but let's go ahead and pull it into reverse to show you the backup cameras. Now, like typical backup cameras, the lines curve, but check this out. The actual camera itself is turning with the wheel, so you have the perfect angle. And it's also showing you guidelines for where the Urus is going to go. Now, there are tons of different viewing points, and my favorite is 3D. So click 3D, and you get a 3-dimensional display of the Lamborghini Urus in the actual environment that you are in. So we are right on the side of a road here, and you can see the lake to the side of us. Spin this around, and if a biker or a car were to pass, we'd actually see it in real time. It also updates based on headlights or tail lights or turning indicators. I've got my foot on the brake right now. If I put my foot back on the brake, it's got the reverse lights. And then if I turn my turning indicators on, check that out. It actually illuminates. How freaking cool is that? So check this out. There's various non-3D modes as well. We've got a frontal view. We've got a cross view, which is a wider angle view so you can see cars oncoming from different angles. We've also got an aerial view, rear view camera, of course, rear cross view, and then we can check to see and make sure we don't curb our wheels. How cool is that? Lamborghini's system is incredibly advanced. Now that brings us to our last insane feature of the Lamborghini Urus, and that is its top speed. With a top speed of 190 miles an hour, it is the fastest SUV in the world. And that is not something you can just look past, especially when it looks and sounds this good. I am having so much fun with the Lamborghini Urus, guys. This would be one of the coolest replacements for my daily driver of anything I can possibly think of. It's perfect, it fits right in, and it actually does feel like a genuine Lamborghini. Pictures just do not do this vehicle justice, guys. It looks so much better in the flesh than it does on pictures and videos because you can actually grasp the stance, the size, and its presence on the road. One thing I really like is the wheel arches. They're not actually round. Check this out. Going along with all the angles on the car, the wheel arches are actually made up by a bunch of different angles. It goes up here to the side and then back down. Same thing on the rear. Just look how beefy the hips of this thing are. And the interior is just honestly stunning. This thing comes in a 4 or 5 seat layout. I think 4 seats is the way to go. It just looks beautiful with this center console, and you've got more space for the left and the right occupant. You lose a tiny bit of room in the back, but basically negligible, I think is absolutely the way to go. But sitting in this thing, oh, this is that time where I'm finished with the review and the sun is setting and I'm supposed to take this back, and I'm going to, but I'm starting to get a little depressed because I love the Lamborghini Urus. Oh man, this car is awesome, guys. The startup procedure is cool. Oh my gosh. Put it into Corsa mode, of course. Look at that. Check out the heads-up display when I rev it. That is awesome. I just noticed the interior lighting. We've got lime green cup holders here and there. That is awesome. Just look how cool the seats look. Interesting to note is that in Corsa mode in this, it actually is able to do automatic at the same time. So it's not manual only. That's pretty cool. When you go ahead and click a paddle, it switches it into manual mode. I'm honestly impressed with how easy the car is to drive and how savage it is at the same time. That's an incredible accomplishment that in Strada mode, it just feels relaxed, really relaxed. Like you could drive it in traffic and not have a care in the world, but then when you put it into Corsa mode, the thing snaps your necks between shifts. Ooh, it is brutal in such a good way. Another cool feature I really like about the climate control is while you can tap like this, you can also slide. Look at that design. Just like that, we've pulled back into the dealership and it is time to give it back. I don't want to give it back. This is a beautiful color Aventador S, blue Nyla, and I actually thought about doing this for the spec on the SVJ. It's this beautiful light blue, but it also has a pearl effect if you look super close. Probably impossible to tell in the shade, but there is pearl there. And then look how gorgeous this SV is. Love the color on that Performante too. Well, there you have it. The old and the new. I'm gonna miss you.